Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this one we are going to be working on the foundation of the base of the new retaining wall. But before I can get started, I've got to go to the builder's merchants, get some materials so we can get back and get started on this footing. Let's go. Okay, just getting loaded up now. Some gravel and some sand. Also purchased at last membrane for the roof. We're going to make a start on the roof fairly shortly once I get all the materials. This was on offer so I grabbed it. Okay, 2 sacks of this. That's the lime. Back now at the cottage, so let's go inside and discuss what I plan to do. So just a quick recap, we are working on the rear wall of the property. So this is the trench. Now I've only dug a third of the width of the whole wall because I don't want to undermine, any structural issues here, so we're just going to do a third at a time. And basically we've dug down a trench. This will allow me to lay a few courses of these big stones back down here, because as I've dug the floor down, it was up here before. What we've done, we've kind of exposed the base of the wall. So what I want to do now is build in a retaining wall. Now if you can imagine, the courses will be up to about here. Pick up with the bottom courses of the stone wall. So that will give it a lot more strength. Then on top of that stone wall here, there will be a false wall in front of it. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make that out of yet, but it will all be breathable. Now we're ready to go on top with our lime and aggregate mix. Remember, we're going to come probably a few inches from the top of the finished floor level, so that our first line of block, I say block stones, sit below that. Now this geotext stops the clay mixing in with the drainage material, keeps it all nice and separate and clean, so it works efficiently. Next job, get all these stones outside, get them jetted off. Very important to give them a good clean, otherwise the lime won't stick to it. Okay, right, while this is drying off, I'm going to go and do some gardening. And a big thank you goes out to Doug and Bowie for sending me this lovely cap. Thank you very much appreciated. I'm glad you like both channels. So we're going to have a look at the food forest that I started to plant. See how that's coming along? Let's go and have a look. Food forest, more like a food jungle. And it all seems to be taking okay. Yep, once again everything's survived. That may alter, some things get bigger than the others, but all of the leeks are doing well, which is good. And because we've had so much rain and sun, You know, we're in July, still getting lots of rain. Everything's really growing, including the weeds, brambles and the grass. So always a bit of a balancing act for me, trying to keep on top of the garden as well as keeping the project going amongst, you know, normal everyday life. So yeah, sometimes time can be of the essence, but we've got to sort the garden out, got to keep on top of that. Sam's having fun in the enclosure. Just released the lions. Trying to get on top of the garden before we got our mini heat wave coming. It's up in the 30s, so yeah, I don't really want to be gardening in that weather, or anything too much in that weather, apart from being in a cool cottage, you know. Right, let's get the grass cut. I don't know how this continues to motor on, but it does. Got a flat tyre, always goes down, but other than that, it just starts up and keeps going. Every season I say, one more season, yeah, and I'll get another one, but why bother, it's still doing the job. A strategically placed chair. Yeah, it's hard work with these, but certain times of the day I prefer to use these, because when I'm using the petrol strimmer, if there's any hornets about, that kind of aggravates them. They're more active at certain times of the day, so if I'm going to strim, probably do it early in the morning. Okay, right, that's this section, well, kept on top of. A little bit more cutting, I've got to do something else. What we do is we work our way up with the courses. We'll backfill with some rubble, rocks, and fill that cavity up there. So as long as we keep a fairly straight face along the straight edge on this OSB board, I'll put a line up here. We'll just work our way along. Slow process. It's boiling hot outside. A bit cooler in here. I say the stones have to be trimmed and cut by hand, so That's just how it is. Because it's so hot outside, I can't knock up too big a batch really, because the stones have to be, like I say, hand cut, trimmed up, and it sets rather quickly in this weather, so just knock it up in batches. I like to mix it all up dry so it mixes evenly, and then take out what I need into the big bucket, mix it up with the water so I can sort of have a consistent mix. I haven't got a race against the clock. Right, what I'm going to do next is find the next stone, trim it up by hand, dry fit it, and once I'm happy with how it's going, knock up another gauge and we'll get that bedded in. Perfect. Well, sort of perfect. We'll make it perfect. Again, we're going to fill the back up with some smaller stones. You don't want too big a bed of mortar anywhere. That'll weaken it. So when you think all of the materials that I'm basically using here, apart from the sand and the mortar, and geo, all the actual stones have come out of here. So we've literally dug them out of the ground, created proper foundation, retaining foundation, and then clean the stones up, redress them and lay it back in. Yeah, completely repurposing them. I like doing stuff like that. Lots of different reasons. Yep, I can go like that. Yeah, I don't think people watch this channel to see things rushed, do you? Let me know in the comments. It's certainly not a quick job. It's certainly not a rushed job. It's worth doing. Let's do it properly. Historically, lots of timber buildings, the outer perimeter, the timbers were set on gravel for obvious reasons, so they're keeping it traditional. What we don't want is it drying out. I mean, there is a little bit of moisture in the back wall here, as we know, but it is drying out. So just to recap again, we're probably going to come somewhere about where that pin is, maybe 1 or 2 courses more, definitely two, yeah, 2 courses maybe above. And what we might do then, because the wall tapers back, this one, the sill plate for the wall, I might stagger back so we gain a little bit more space. And what that does, it creates a cavity behind the face of this wall to this one. That way I can run my pipes, ducting, ventilation, you know, all that sort of stuff, electrics. What do you think? Is anyone else doing a project like this? Okay, I'm off to make another mix and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.